Hello everyone, Namaste. I'm welcoming you all to the very first video on this channel. For me personally, living far away from home, I miss home so much, especially whenever festivals are around the corner. And as you guys know that Ganpati is right around the corner, and for me personally, Ganpati reminds me of modaks. I remember as a kid and even as an adult, whenever I go back home, my mom or my daddy would make these amazing, delicious little modaks that we would feast on. And oh my god, those memories, I want to go back home right now. I personally live in London, so these are the ingredients that I could get a hold of. But I do understand that it's not easy for everyone. So I will also be showing you some swaps that you can make here and there, things that you get locally in your supermarkets that you can use instead of these traditional ingredients. So I won't be wasting any more of your time. Let's start and see what the ingredients are. Here we have 2 cups of frozen coconut. I have thawed this coconut in the microwave for around 2 to 3 minutes. I have also used the brand Shana, but you can find anything that is available nearby. Here is a block of jaggery which I will be slicing soon, and we'll be using 1 cup of jaggery. 1 cup of rice flour, half teaspoon of cardamom powder, half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder, and the star of our show, ghee. And here are the swaps that we can use. I have taken 2 cups of desiccated coconut and 1 cup of brown sugar. First, we cut our jaggery block into thin slices till we have 1 cup of jaggery. Then we mix our jaggery with our coconut and gently massage them together. Once done, keep the mixture aside to rest while we heat our pot. Once our pot is hot enough, add a tablespoon of ghee to it and let it melt. Once our ghee is hot, add the mixture of jaggery and coconut to the pot and stir it well. Stir it continuously and mix it well till you see the jaggery melting and the color of our mixture changing to a slightly darker brown. Then we are ready to add our spices. First we add half a teaspoon of cardamom powder, followed by half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder and a pinch of salt to taste. Mix the spices in thoroughly, and that's it. We have our filling ready. Now let's move on to create our dough for the cover. To make our dough for the cover, let's boil 1 cup of water. Remember to take the same amount of water as your flour. So in our case, we'll do 1 cup of water for 1 cup of rice flour. To the water, add a pinch of salt and a tablespoon of ghee and let it come to a boil. Lower the heat, or I would also recommend turning off the heat, and then we add our rice flour to the water. Thoroughly stir our rice flour and water together so that we get a thick dough. Once we get a crumbly dough, then we transfer the dough to a plate. Here I'm using a parat, which is also traditionally used in India. Be careful when kneading the dough. We need to do it immediately, but at the same time, since the dough is super hot, we will use a bowl. Here I'm using a steel bowl, but you can also use a potato masher to do the same. Once the dough cools down a little bit, then feel free to use your hands. This will give you the best texture. Remember to knead thoroughly. We should at least knead our dough for 5 to 6 minutes, if not more. Once you think your dough is ready, then you can try and make a flat circle just to test it out. In my case, you see that there are still jagged edges. That means my dough is not ready. So I will continue to knead more. And when finally our dough is ready, now we need to put it to rest. So I gently apply a layer of ghee on the surface of our dough and take a damp muslin cloth and place it gently on top of our dough. While our dough is resting, let's make the alternate filling for our modak. Here I'm using the same pot as before. Once the pot is hot enough and our ghee is also hot, we continue to add our desiccated coconut and brown sugar. Continue to stir well for at least a minute before adding half a cup of water. Remember to add water slowly and not all at once. Soon we'll start to see that our brown sugar has melted and the color of this mixture has also changed into a nice sweet golden caramel. And now let's add our spices. Again, we start with half a teaspoon of cardamom powder, followed by half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder and a pinch of salt to taste. Stir it all together and keep it to rest till our filling comes down to room temperature. Now that both our fillings are ready and our dough is also well rested, let's start making modaks. Take a small ball of dough and knead it again thoroughly. Knead it for at least 1 to 2 minutes. Make sure you apply some ghee to the surface that you're rolling on so that our dough does not stick. Remember to gently roll the dough out and make a small circle if possible. If not, you can always use a paring knife or a small bowl to cut out a circle. Remember to not roll out the dough too thin as it will break during the shaping process. To give modak its shape, gently pinch your middle finger and thumb together and guide the whole process with your index finger. Once you have pinched throughout our circle, then go ahead and add the filling to the cup. Now comes the fun part when you take all the sides together and start pinching it at the top, slowly and gentle. And voila, there you have it, our modak is ready to steam. Now I will repeat the whole process using our alternate filling, which is made out of desiccated coconut and brown sugar. It's not an easy task and it will require a lot of patience, but I promise you with a couple of tries, you'll get there. Like me and a lot of others struggle to get the shape right, here is an alternate shape that you can make. At home, we call this a karanji. Lay a rolled out dough flat on the surface and add a little bit of filling in the center of the dough. Then go ahead and lift the dough up and create a semicircle by joining the two sides together. Now gently pinch and flip the dough on itself till you reach to the other side. And that's it. There you go. It's super easy and a must try. Here I'll show you how to make a DIY steamer at home. You can use any deep-welled pot that you have lying around at home and fill it up with a little bit of water. Here I'm using a ring to elevate the vessel that I'm going to put my modaks in. If you do not have a ring, you can also go ahead and use a cup, just invert it. I have also covered my steel vessel with muslin cloth so that our modaks don't stick to the bottom. Now go ahead and shut the lid and let the water boil and create steam. Once there is enough steam, put your modaks and karanjis in our case inside the vessel and keep it back in. Close the lid and wait for 15 minutes for the modaks to steam. Now that our 15 minutes are up and our modaks are ready, be very careful when taking the lid off as the steam can burn you. Once you take the vessel out of the steamer, let the modak rest and come down to room temperature. And there you have it guys, our modaks are ready to feast on. What do you think?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one, what do you think?
The first one is not bad, but the second one is much better. Desiccated coconut words.
And that's it. I hope you guys like this recipe and try it at home. And if you do, please do let me know in the comment section what you think about it. And yeah, happy Ganpati. I wish you guys a lot of happiness. And goodbye. See you next time.